My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. People fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not corrupt. No one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough for time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us. So they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not corrupt. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
Hey, Linford, how you doing, sir?
I'm great, Paul. And you? And how are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm good. And you? How's Norway?
Man, Norway is great. By this time of the year, we are inching all the fall is inching on us, and so we're expecting major changes in the weather. But for now, it's still good. There was, in fact, since the weekend up to now, there has been good sunshine, and we look up to that. So, we're still holding on.
Great, great. Yeah, I think we're heading for that cold season of the year. It started raining in the UK here already. When it started raining, that just tell you that we go into that cold weather. So, and wear your toes, your nails, your fingers, everything start freezing, your mustache, everything. We heading towards that. So it's just to show that the cold weather is coming. It's
Yeah.
coming.
So tonight, on this edition of the program, the bottom line is going to be interesting. We're going to have some videos, and from those videos, we will be analyzing and we'll be doing some discussions. And it's been a long week since we were here last week, and since that time, a lot of things have happened, and we expect that a lot of things will happen henceforth. From now until 2023, and then that noise will cool down politically. Then what we'll be thinking about come January is what inauguration. So the question is, who goes to that seat? Who's going to be inaugurated? As we got a lot of people coming, and Paul, I don't want to abort, but yesterday we heard a news that Amara Kone, our former finance minister during Madam Salif administration, is thinking about throwing his hat in the race. Did you hear that news?
Well, the thing is, there's no smoke without fire. So in Liberia, if you hear something like that, that means there's some sort of fire somewhere. So I learned that he might be throwing his hand in the ring for Bapolo County. So if he's going for Bapolo County, then it shows that yes, people wouldn't arrive in Liberia with that kind of rising welcome. I mean, something in the pipeline. So yes, it could be that he want to throw his hands in the ring.
Okay. And also this morning on the Costa show, Costa said that he will be he just posted yesterday, and then people commented on it. So he got courage, a lot of courage, and he said he will be running for Senator Monserrado County. So like I told you before, or I've been saying, from now until 2023, you will hear a lot of things. You might even hear maybe Paul wants to be representative or senator or somewhere. A lot of strange things will be coming. And so we, as Liberians, we must brace ourselves. We must now put ourselves in that gear that, okay, we are ready. Things will be happening every time. The most surprising ones will be happening. And again, I think, Paul, one of the things that will be happening is that all the proliferation of, or the mushrooming of all of these political parties, time will come, they will condense, they will start, when the mushroom grow, at a certain time, you can start getting dead, and then, going down, and then it gets rotting. So some of these parties will gradually be swallowed up by some of the biggest parties. So I think that's one thing I personally expect. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with you. As we get closer, people will start moving to all of the big cross names, and there will be cross carpeting, which we expect.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the 2017 we had 20 parties. This time around, we might have less than that, maybe 5 with independent, the most.
Yeah.
So we know that there are three or four strong runners,
mm-hmm.
but that 4 strong one, it could condense it could end up being 3 in the process. So there is a strong possibility, because there's also the negotiation happening behind the scene. So people will be moving here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But the ultimate goal here is to have a better Liberia, honor a better stewardship than what we have in now.
That's
So
great.
there you go.
And
Yeah.
and what I see is that most of the parties that are coming up now, you know, they want to do it for political, what I would call political relevance, probably to prepare or to establish themselves as political institutions, so that probably for the next elections, come 2029, or fast forward to 2029, 2035, which will be the next election. So some of these parties will not be well known at that time. But for now, it's just a formative stage, and they are laying the groundwork. And so, folks, if you just joining us for the first time, my name is Linford Goa, and Paul Chilople is there in the UK. And tonight, together, we will be having a wonderful time on the program, The Bottom Line. If this is your first time, you can leave your comments. We do read comments, interesting comments from our viewers. And this is the only way you, as our viewer, can make your contribution. You can also call in. We have telephone numbers that we'll post. We also have the live stream is going on simultaneously on YouTube. So you can leave your comment anywhere on Facebook or on YouTube or wherever you're watching. And by the way, we have our online radio as well. This is just an online radio. It doesn't close its own throughout. So the program usually is streamed live while we're on. And so, Paul, do you have anything for us that we can start with the discussions tonight?
Yeah, before we get to that, I just want to tell our viewer to kindly share our show with their friends. If they press the like button, it was also notified then whenever Bottom Line comes on. So please share, and we'll go into we'll discuss the letter, and then also what Nathaniel McGee have denied, say the Americans there were misinformation given to them. We'll play his interview. We'll also look at the Fargon allegation, what the revelation Fargon made. Why is he upset at this time that he coming on with fire? We're going to look at that, and then we'll look at what's happened with Yumley and her fundraiser, with Omer Boyka giving her $2 million Liberian dollars and being on surviving on loan to get $2 million Liberian dollars, something that we test, and then we'll see what our audience thinks. So to start a program tonight, I think we just need to go straight into the interview that Fargon gave with Al Jazeera.
Yeah.
And so our listener can hear what he said, that the Americans now, someone misled the American.
You mean McGill?
McGee, yeah, that people so we'll see what our viewers think on this guy allegation. So I'll start with this.
2 senior members of Liberia's government are breaking their silence. They had kept quiet after the U.S. Treasury imposed sanctions on them in August, accusing them of corruption. Nathaniel McGill, the president's chief of staff, denies the misappropriation of public funds and of instructing warlords to threaten political rivals. He says the U.S. has got it wrong, that it's a case of mistaken identity.
But somebody may have misled them. Somebody may have told them a story that's not correct. And there are people out there who are using my name. That is a fact. It's a fact. And it's been reported, people have been arrested. But somebody may say McGill is doing it, but I'm not the guy who's doing it.
The country's Solicitor General, who used to run a publication called The Plain Truth, says the U.S. accusation are all lies. He blames his former boss, the Minister of Justice, for any wrongdoing.
The Minister of Justice should be accused of all those things. He receives documents, he reviews contract, he signs contract. Never in my life, since I became Solicitor General. Even Petty Cash is the Minister of Justice.
The men have been suspended by President George Weah. The former football star was elected in 2017 on a campaign promising to fight for the rights of poor people. His goal was to eradicate corruption and poverty. Retired civil servant Paul Flomo has hoped that Weah's presidency would bring change. He's appalled that government officials are now accused of stealing millions of dollars from the state coffers from which he gets his small pension. Not only is his $60 a month pension rarely paid on time, it is a meager sum compared to the $5,000 a month salary members of parliament receive. most Liberians live on less than $2 a day. With rising costs, what was once affordable is now a luxury. Mr. Flomo can no longer afford to buy fish or meat. Sending his daughters and grandchildren to school is now beyond his means.
It's a project of government to see about the welfare of its citizens. If the welfare of the citizens are not being sought, then we bring the government.
Weah says the economic fallout from the Ukraine war and COVID are the cause of his country's financial woes. His political opponents say mismanagement of public funds is the real reason. Following the imposition of American sanctions, an investigation is underway. The U.S. is Liberia's main international donor. And while both men are close friends with the president, in times of economic hardship, the United States is one partner Weah's government cannot afford to ignore or lose. Nicholas Hawk, Al Jazeera, Monrovia.
Right.
Okay. Yes. Paul. There are so many magazines out there.
Yeah.
Nathaniel Fallow McGill. This is the man who was President Weah's, or who is still, because he has not been dismissed, he's suspended, President Weah's right-hand man. And he went around making pronouncements. He went around giving money in bag, carry bags of money everywhere. Now one day, the Nathaniel McGill said, this is McGill number 1, or McGill number 2, McGill number 3, number 4, number 5. I don't know how many of them he said, giving you money. But when the sanction hits him, then he gets to know that there are several McGills out there using his name. So how do you see that? Is it real that we have so many McGills in Liberia before or even now?
Linford McGill is in denial. That's to start with. The U.S. government will not sanction anyone without doing their due diligence. They done their investigation. They found out that these guys, their hands are in the cookie jar. They stole from the Liberian people. He's in a denial. And look, listen to Sereno Sifo as well. They just can't believe that they've been sanctioned, they've been caught, they've been stealing. If you go listen to that video carefully, the president also hand is in a cookie jar. This is embarrassing to the entire country. They stole. And because they're in denial, so now there are many McGee's out there, and the American bought into that argument, and then they sanctioned them. It make any sense?
And you just mentioned Cyrenius Cephas, and when I hear him now shifting blames to Musadi, that he has never ever signed any document, not even petty cash he receives. So wasn't it this same Cyrenius Cephas who was supposed to be working with the team or the accusers of Mr. Cummings to make sure that this case is adjudicated in just less than a week, and then the case dragged on to 5 months? Wasn't it him? Or like you said, why are they denying? What's going on? Does this tell anybody that in the future, people who we don't even expect will be denied President Weah, or even President Weah himself will be denied? He already started. He denied the COP, how you call them, CDC COP. So it said that these guys are going to be denying each other.
That's the blame game, Linford. People now they don't want to go down alone. So Sereno Sifo, he want to go down with the justice minister. That's his end game. That he did not sign anything. It was the justice minister. He want to go down with somebody. Now, the big fish in all this is McGill. Will McGill go down alone, or will he go down with the Excellency President George Manneh Weah? That is the question. Is he going to go down? Because the thing is, They just hanging by this. You know, these guys, they also want to run. McGee is being alleged that he will be petitioned soon to run for the senatorial seat in Bond County. So he telling the people that there are many McGees out there, they lie on him. So the American bought into that so the people can petition him to run for the senatorial post. They see who was Serena C4, who before Cummings trial could end, there were allegations that he was involved in money laundering. That was a warning given to them long, he and that sitting judge. But they have forgotten about it now. So he now turned to the Justice Minister Mossadegh to say Mossadegh was the one that signed all of those contracts. Well, fair enough. But this is the same Serena C4 that was telling Mr. Cummings you found guilty and he go teach Lanco Lampe. So saying he found guilty now and he been suspended, why don't he resign and go teach Lanco Lampe of good behavior? Saying he didn't steal. You see what I mean?
Well, you know, for me, what I see in the long run is that this thing is going to boil down to, like what you said, the blame game. Oh, it wasn't me. After all, I work in the government. I was just appointed minister, or I was some director general, and then I took instruction from my boss, who is the president, and the president might say, "Oh no, you had your duties as outlined by the rules of the entity that you headed, that I appointed you to, so you should have done your work." And it's going to be like when the old people say, when you pull the rope will begin to pull a tree, and soon you find out that the rope is pulling the whole bush. So yeah. It's just starting. But at least it's clear now to the Liberian people that these people are actually sanctioned, and that what they were thinking is not it. They thought the sanction was just going to be play stuff, that McGee will try to exonerate himself by saying that there are several McGees. How many McGees do we see going to Banga, carrying bags of money and telling the people, everybody can steal, but when we see our little money, when we use it, the bad thing and a good thing, and we using it, how many McGees were saying that? So does he want to tell me that it was another McGill who was speaking in Banga on that tape? You know, so the sanction now is set, the pinch of the sanction is setting in now.
Yeah, that's right. Because what happened here, these guys, they are chronic crooks. Because they're chronic crooks, they're going to come up with all sort of things. McGee's and others, they know. And look, let's be honest here, the Americans don't Liberians a favor. They went for these big crooks, right? But the target here is the snakehead. Linford, I can work with you and sit in your office and I steal. And then somebody accuse me and say, oh, resign, let's investigate. They guys know about this. So we are in his group, they in it together. If you play that video again, you will hear that George Weah came to power to alleviate poverty. The people put him there for a reason. This man slept on mat. He ate with his hands. He did everything. They entrusted him with that power. For them to come to power, the McGee who were living in 72nd area there in a swamp became millionaire overnight. They stole, and that is the bottom line, they stole from the Liberian people. Because they stole now, it caught up with them, so they want to go and lie, say, oh, people using their names. No, they've been stealing, and because they've been stealing, so it now hit them hard. They just don't want to go alone. So I wish McGee could come and say, look, I stole, including the president of Liberia, to his hand is in a cooking jar, then he can go along with it. But not just going along, say, oh, the Americans are lying on him, people give misinformation, that's why they sanction him. And Serena C4 now, who's supposed to be teaching Lanco Lampe, saying that Mossadegh is the one that did all the signing. So they're trying to, that's a blame game. The other guy, Bill Traore, on the other end, who's now also running for senator, that stole the $1.5 million, where is he lying to the people? Say that lie. These guys are all thieves, and we need to call them out.
Okay, thank you very much, Paul. Let me just welcome a couple of people. Vashti Yancey, welcome, and Monique Kishen, the general. You know, the general, please share the show. And the general stole our show. The last time I saw Mr. Cummings on the general show, I was like, wow. And that was very impressive. And I want to say kudos to the general. And this is one guy who I know is very strong, and he never gives up. So, general, please share our show. We know, make sure that all of your friends can have access to the show, and please make it your home. And also, for those of you whose names I didn't see to recognize, we say thank you for joining us. This is the bottom line. Paul Chuluple and I are here. Normally, we have Jamel Kamara, but Jamel is not here with us tonight, and we hope that probably our other co-host, Antrick Chalo, can join us in the course of the program. Paul, so yeah, like you said, the guys are distancing themselves, and that alone shows sign of guilt. But we are not the ones to pass the verdict. We are not the one to exonerate anybody. If they feel that the Americans just want to go to accuse them, well, that's their business. They can take out the case, okay? But even the blind man in Liberia would know. Just McGill, nobody talked for McGill. He said there are several McGills out there, but the other McGill that we saw on the video sharing money in Banga and boasting that they see their own money and use it here, it's a McGill that I see accusing others of being him. And since I've been knowing McGill since he was appointed in 2018 until now, there had been no time that McGill would come and even complain that there is somebody using his name. Only to be censored to come and make such accusation now. Even a crazy man can't ever work on. Even a crazy man would not believe him.
So, Linford, on that line, for the McGill tape is just 45 seconds. So I can just play it for our audience to listen that this guy's told. So listen to this.
Let it roll.
You could have your phone take all the post clean money. But if I see the money again, like Brentford, I put it because Ali and I see them carrying in Europe. Some point in the country, all government are in eligible interest. That's the money. But we say how much money the small people will go to our people there and go pay for the someone invest. I can't pay her in one country to invest. So I was telling money I carry to Ghana, correct? But one country get it on me. I will take it from you, Gary. No. Yeah, I'll leave it here. Yes. The day God take me, I will carry her with me. No. Our grandchildren will kind of see the ones there, but what kind of looking for? They go find one there. So these are the things we'll be doing. I just want to say thank you to for doing what he's doing. What the young man doing, he's just doing a part. One day will not be represented. But
and did you hear him? There are several things he said, and the people there, I don't know if they actually understood this guy. He said, and he clearly admitted. I mean, this is a video that everybody has watched. We don't want to overemphasize it, but we just want to refresh people's mind and remind Nathaniel McGill that the Nathaniel McGill that was. We want to remind him that the one that was sanctioned is the one in this video talking. So there are several McGills out there. We don't know them, but the one that we saw in this video talking. And he said people stole the money. So, but when we take our little one, the little one we take, we build houses with it. Yeah. That bad thing, these are the things we're supposed to be doing. Can you imagine that he will legitimize stealing and said these are the things that we're supposed to be doing? Meaning we're supposed to be stealing the money and investing it here. I don't know. That's what I heard, but I don't know if you have different interpretation, Paul.
But that's the thing. McGill was clear enough that he been stealing. So he going to build a house. When he built a house in Bond County, even he died, a house will be there. That the money he stole, that people see the house, say it's a beautiful house. They stole. They bought a lot. They been stealing, and this stealing, Linford, it didn't just start. It's from the very get go when these people took power.
No, there are several things. There are several reasons actually to confirm what you're saying. Our VP stood in I don't know why they always choose Banga, but our VP, Madam Taylor, stood in Banga and said, "This is our time. If you can't be with us, then you should tell us so we can move from here." So it meaning that this is their time to eat. And if you are not part of that, okay, you know there's a famous saying that if you are not with us, then you are against us, right? So
Thank
if you
you.
get bill of us, you should tell us early enough so that we can move you. Okay. And then McGill
Yes.
goes there and also repeats the same thing. And then, like you said, from the get-go, there was this $16 billion saga that just went around. President Weah said you were going to set up a committee to come and investigate. When the committee came, the proposals that they made after the investigation, nothing happened. Nobody was ever held responsible for this money. The money was not even, according to their report, the money was not even supposed to be missing. So can you imagine? And that money business just went in breeze. They did not order the government that they took over from. Okay, so we don't know how much they left there.
So, Linford,
Yeah.
this 60 million thing, there was a BBC interview. They interviewed George Weah himself. And when you talk about the investigation, up to today's day, we have not heard what the outcome are. Although there was a Crow report that said that the guys were corrupt. Or they even set up their own independent, the government set up their own committee on to investigate, and the pointed figures say they were corrupt. So this thing about stealing LaBrempo money is not just a band there. So for the sake of our audience, welcome everybody. Please share and please press like button to follow us. I want to share this with all of you. This is George Weah interview back in 2018 and 2019. For people to listen to what he said on his interview in regards to the stealing of the money that they took from our land. Listen to this.
Got a very difficult job here. Inflation is still very high. I was in one of the food markets in Monrovia, and a woman said to me, rice is now so expensive, I can't afford to buy it anymore. And I feel that by now prices should have come down because I voted for you.
I'm not a financial expert, but what I try to do is to make sure that our people get their needs and wants. What I try to do is that to speak to those importers, those that import rice. And I spoke to them that the rice is expensive. You know, we are government, a proper government just came, so you need to lower your price. But again, you know, they found reason to keep their prices where it is.
Whatever happened to this $105 million worth of government money that somehow disappeared last year without trace? I gather there's an investigation into this. So what's happening with that?
We're able to bring in international partners and our local partners to work together. And we are still waiting for the final results. And then when that results come in, we'll be able to let the public know what happened to that missing money.
It's an awful lot of money to go missing, isn't it?
We cannot give people wrong information because people get in the street for everything. So what we need to do is that, look, even if you have, if you think that something happened, you got to have facts. You understand? So we are looking for the facts. So that if anyone...
We are looking for the facts. Missing money. So the stealing started from the beginning of the administration. What your take?
Yeah, but Paul, there is nothing to dispute. The man admitted it. He said they are looking into the fact. They will bring international partners, and the international partners came. Whatever they did, we have not had any result. So let's assume, okay, let's give them that the international partners did not do anything. But what about you, the local government? You, the government, it is your money that got missing. So what have you done? I mean, we're talking about money. We're not talking about one little key that hanging on string, or we're not talking about some 50-cent coin that was in somebody's pocket. We're talking about billions. But again, that's it. But let's just read a couple of comments here. The first one, Mohammed Jakana says hi. Vashti Nyanse also greets us, and Monique Kishan say hi guys. And coming down, Kai Jebo say, gentlemen, hope you guys reaching out to our folks around the globe. God bless. And yeah, Edward Hall is watching according to that. And Nicholas Joe say hi. Then Chadela Brown Chilope. I hear your on bottom line, but do the sanctions on the officials make... Okay, I put it up. But the sanction on the official make these officials make any difference to the hearts and minds of Liberians in Liberia? I would really like to know. Well, that's a good question. That's a good question. But again, who knows? Our people, being who they are, we cannot answer outrightly for them. Then let's go to Roland Dennis. Roland Dennis said, Gasly McGill. Yeah, put that one up. Gasly McGill targeted the uneducated component of the Liberian society to get their votes. And it's true, because I know I would not say that under the force of McGill or anybody for that matter to tell me that stealing money to come and build house in my country, one country where I come from, is the right thing to do. At least in my own way, I will oppose. Even if I do opposing outrightly, I will nod my head. I will say, no, it's not. Because I know better. I know that nobody is supposed to see government funds and come to invest it in anywhere, not in my country, not in his country, nowhere. Okay. The Liberian people will let us know 2023 based on the votes of the Liberian people. I don't understand what money guy is trying to say, but
no, I think he's talking about the decision will be made by 2020. It's democracy. Anyone, if they decide to pull George Weah back, it's up to them. If they decide to find someone else, that's up to them. I think that's
up to them, and that's the exercise of the democratic rights and franchise that we talk about.
That's right.
And so, let's not waste a lot of time on this one. Liberian people are monitoring. Liberian people know how they are suffering. And then what Mr. Cummings said in one of his speeches, hunger, hardship, untimely death, all these things do not know partisans. They will not say, well, this is ANC party. So they will not say, this is ANC partisan, so I'm going to kill you today. I will leave the CDC. When hunger comes, when no rest, everybody hungry, the seditionists will not have some special thing in their stomach that will make them, moving while the other people die. So,
that's right.
The message goes out. The decision is yours to make. Come 2023. I mean, we're very close to 2023.
Yeah, what happened here is our people in Liberia, we got a global society. And the way people look at things, people on the other side of the world, where we are, we won't look at things the way our brothers and sisters look at things. If you hold a few weeks ago, people are going around, you sanction, we'll vote for you. It's like going back to Charles the other day, you came my mind, you came my power, vote for you. Book, Weahtown, we'll vote for you. Now you sanction, we'll do this, XYZ.
I will tell you, Paul, I will not even let you go far, Paul. I will cut you already. Let me tell you one thing. Yeah, let me tell you one thing. Look, all he knows, I can govern us. I come from a very big family.
Yeah.
Okay, I can govern a few of my brothers and we get in the street. Okay, and say anything. But the actual people, the actual people that will do the decision or make the decision at the post are there. Okay, I saw the video you're talking about. There was a group of young boys. One of them, the one that was even chanting, he's not more than 19, some little boy. Okay, and this they are very vulnerable. I agree, but you think the father who has been suffering since 2018, he goes to work, he can't get paid. He's even afraid to come home. Why? Because he's not bringing anything home. The wife and the children waiting. The children are not in school. You think that kind of father will say you kill my man? I mean, or you sanction that? No. So this thing is, I agree. That you hear people saying this, but the question: how significant are the people? There was a picture that I saw.
Yeah, Linford, the thing is, let me cut you off. These guys are using cash violence. Let me be honest. There is a printed, there's new money on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And the new money on the ground, it should have been our effort since. Now, the by-election out here in Lofa County, the so-called corrupt people were using that money in Lofa County. So because they're using cash violence, people will go and sing the song because Liberians cannot feed themselves. $1 a day. These guys using money. My man, if I'm in a situation, I'm dying, and you came to me and gave me 500 liberty, You know, 500 level, it may sound small, that but
have you
less
heard,
than $2.
Have you heard this saying that you eat their money and vote wisely? Because the reason why I'm saying this, then for me, I will not feel. Wait, listen.
But no. Just listen to Nathaniel McGee video just now, 2 minutes ago.
Yes.
When he said,
I agree. You know, I agree. Everything you say, I agree. But let's put it this way. I've heard many people say, Comey is dividing money. So you're going to eat Comey money and you're for different person. So do I have to harbor fear on that factor? The fact that CDC is dividing money and then CDC people no money, not claim more than Comey money. So if it is true that CDC will divide money to make people to vote for them, why do you think Comey cannot also divide money for people to vote for Comey? So if this is what they're thinking, so the point I'm trying to make is that money will not determine any factor here. So yes, few people will have to vote, but the real people that are suffering, like me, Georgia can give me $1 million. I know that I will not want to vote him, so I can take the money. If I go to the ballot box, the only way I'll be influenced if there is somebody at the ballot box who goes through my head. Okay,
my man, that's what you think, but the man on the ground.
Yeah, but okay. So should we agree? Should we agree that if Mr. Comey was dishing our money, people will vote for him too?
Well, the thing is, it has been proven in a Liberian setting. It has been proven that money play a key role in the end. People sold their vote for $20. That they will go and take their they will take picture of who they voted for. They come to get $20. It has been proven, so you can't dispute this. And
no, I'm not disputing it.
Yeah,
I'm not disputing it. The point I'm trying to make here is this, Paul. That the point I'm trying to make is this: that okay, since they feel that they can do cash for all, so if any other candidate, let's say Dr. Cassell, he's solid as well. He comes and begin to divide money, so they will vote for. So if they take money from everybody, they will vote for everybody. No, you see. So the question is what's going to lead them to vote. So you can see a guy will beg for money in the street, sharing it, but that gives no guarantee that people are going to vote for him. Because the thing is, nobody will be with these people.
I agree because you see the beauty of this. You remember when Delon came to power, there was a message going around. They put bring money, you're eating and do the right thing. So it's also based on the messaging of the opposition leaders that if you want to get this guy from power, they bring money, you're eating and teach them a lesson. And this is the time now that we need to educate people that they need to eat these people money and tell them this
that's the point.
Yeah.
That's why I'm driving at. That because he saw me standing in the street and giving money gives me any guarantee that the people are going to vote. The thing is, when the people go in that booth to vote, it's in the day and God in their conscience there. Okay, let's read Monica. What Monica wrote there. I do think Liberian society is gullible. I believe the Liberian people are also poor. That means more money can influence them. Yeah, it's true. Monica.
Absolutely. Yeah, and he's right.
Yeah, the Liberian people are also extremely uneducated and do not have time to research the correct information. So many news that they hear, they follow it. Yeah, I mean, this is normal. But again, no, let me tell you, I don't like to always be a pessimist. But I want to let you know something. Paul, if we go back, I don't want to go too deep back, but let's start from 1997 during Taylor's election. How many people had access to cell phone? In fact, I think 1999 was the first time I actually touched cell phone. Yeah, actually, I tried to touch you. So how many people have access to cell phone? How many people used to access the internet? The first time I heard about the internet was one time Taylor was speaking and he said the internet is the highway, I think international highway of information. And then I was like, oh, so is there anything called internet? So people were not informed those days. But now a lot of people, you and I in Europe, we got one cell phone. In Liberia, people got 2-3 cell phones. So people are following the information. So I think the dynamics.
No. I disagree with you. Disagree. I'm on the ground, so I disagree with you. Okay. People get secondhand information, and that is the fact. They hear the message they hear. Oh, Paul said that here they say.
Yeah, but so some of the things that we wrote, I mean, people have been writing on Facebook. You mean people don't see at all?
My man, I can guarantee you it's not the case, because what happened here is if you have $2 or 50 cents, you can buy 50 cent data. You can buy $1 data. That $1 data is for you to make a call, because the main telephone call in Liberia, you only got 45 minutes. So when you buy your data, you can go on WhatsApp to make a call. It will last you for X number of hours. So that data, you make maximum use of that data. If you go on the internet, the data finish like that. So not everything that you see on Facebook, they listen to. People listen to radio. Some people don't have radio, and then they listen to secondhand information. So if Paul is a good storyteller, right? That good storyteller, whatever I tell people, they will run with that story. So if I hit Monrovia now, I say, oh, for the example, this example, that Claudia was slapped by Fina Bondo, people will run with that story without even investigating whether the story is true or not. That has secondhand news travel in Liberia, and that is the fact.
I will buy that. I will buy that. Okay, so do me a favor. Wrote that comments by Eugene Nangbe or Eugene Falcon. And let's
Eugene Falcon. So to roll that out, Eugene Falcon is telling us that the government himself this government, and the government is so corrupt. Now he went in there to steal. Because he didn't steal, he's so angry that he now coming out to say what he want to say to the Liberian people. So I want our audience to kind of listen to this clip. It's about 5 minutes, if they don't mind.
How much money did you send to me to campaign for you and fight for you? How many times did you call me? Did you even call me to say, dog, thank you, you are fighting for me? You think we stupid here? Joshua, you think we stupid here? Eugene Nangbe, who said he used to do your homework? Who said you were dull? Who left you behind and joined the ruling party? He served as Secretary General for the ruling party. Was that not the man we had to battle against to give you the presidency? When he was the lead propagandist of the government that we brought down, was I not your lead propagandist against him? He sits comfortably beside you in your luxury private flights that you take around the world. I who defeated him, I was subjected to his leadership. Nobody's stupid here. The very man that is the Minister of Information today, wasn't it the man that denied Dwana Sion and Kwame Weeks and your little chicken radio station, President Weah, was only around Monrovia, Bomi, and other areas? You think we stupid here? We gave you the victory. But today we have become your worst enemies and they have become your friends. But what we will not accept from you and your friends is to take our loyalty for stupidity. Campaign for who? And against who? The first 5 people you appointed in government. You appointed Bezonga Finley. You appointed Mary Pro. You retained Vani Salif. You maintain Eugene Nangbe, the traitor that forced us to work 3 times more. The then Chief of Staff and the Deputy Chief of Staff were promoted to Minister of Defense and Chief of Staff respectively. The current NSA boss is the deputy to the son of Ma Ellie as NSA boss. You promoted him to NSA boss. We work our tail to give you power. Loyalty is not stupidity. Small leg here. Riding for the $7,000 car. I said in here, chicle and get to chew. I will not campaign for you unless you pay me. I'm not stupid. To use me and dump me. For your business, house are lost. Cars are lost. Marriage are lost. Business, everybody saw it, are lost. Bank account are lost. My only reward was a stupid job and a smoking car. Dirty and rotten. You have never even put your hand in your pocket and give me $20 before you, money. For 2.5 years, I was defending you. They will not even allow me to enter your yard. One day I picked my way. When the girls Lone Star team, 3 or 4, Zoga and all, we walked down on the field, Eugene Nangbe, all of us, 3 or 4. You were the captain. You shook everybody's hand. When I presented my hand, you passed me. They jailed me. They suspended me for your business. You fired me for your own business. And I stand by what I said. I'm not stupid. I cannot get me for late here to drive for the $7,000 car. The wife will camping for. I'm not stupid. That means we're camping for your stepson to wash a car. We're going shopping. $350 that means we're camping. That means we're camping for you to like to eat lobster and he's showing the baby chicken and driving at the $8,000 car. That means we're camping. That means we're camping for Janako to be controller general. Why a web that this is us? That means we're camping. That means we're camping for Bessie Yegan to be head of place. Why a web that one of the people want to ask for? That means we're camping. That means we're camping for Emma Castro to be the head of NAFA. My husband is a consultant to Marita. That means we're camping. Oh, that means we're camping for family officials. Zoga my own friend, but Zoga to youth and sports. $1 to NAFA. So for the head of NOCA, or brother the head of National Investment Commission, I'm going to continue. That means supposed to campaign. Eugene Nangbe, Patrick Honor, Ledger Hureni, Henry Costa, Mamadi Diakete, they were all on one side. I took them on and I defeated them. You prefer to take Jefferson Koji, baby ma or girlfriend, to can't go be registrar here, than to even make me a public relation officer to even eat bread. And you don't appreciate. And I'm saying again, for the record, I will not campaign for you. President George Manneh Weah, I will not campaign for you. Look at this other wizard that you sent before the Senate. That you, George Manneh Weah, you lied to the Senate. The resume you put on your executive mansion was not for him. So let me ask you as president, what did you use to appoint this guy? What did you use? At the back of your palm, you lie on him. You put your own resume there. That's what he said to you.
Paul, you know, every time I watch this, there are several versions though. Every time I watch it, it's funny. But again, it's very, very important. If the Liberian people, now there are 2 groups of people involved here. If the Liberian people would listen to these revelations, marvelous, wonderful revelation that Mr. Eugene Fangon, of all persons, has made. I mean, subtract all the fun from in it, right? Look at the nitty-gritty of what he's saying. You know that he has made several grave allegations that can even make the Americans to slap George Weah. I know George Weah got a sanction on him. I know how the Americans operate, right? They will not come straightly and just pull on George Weah here like this. They will clear all around him. Long time ago, I made one post. I said, in order to cut down a big tree in the forest, you have to clear all the shrubs and all the small trees from around it so that you have enough space to cut it down. So this allegation that Eugene Fangon have made, people take it for fun, we laugh. Yeah, I mean, every time I play this song, when I'm driving, when I'm feeling sleepy, I always play it, and then I laugh. But the guy made some grave allegations. He reviewed nepotism in the government. He reviewed unseriousness in the government. I mean, just the list goes on. If you listen to it. And he also said that the president lied. I mean, look at our president nominating somebody, posting false information about the person's credentials, simply because he wants the person to serve his interest. So I will nominate Paul and say Paul comes from PhD, who comes to the job with 4 or 5 PhDs. Okay? And then Paul appears at a confirmation hearing and says, no, what you saw, what the president posted was not mine. What does that tell you?
Well, Eugene Fagon made a serious revelation here, and we got to take Eugene Fagon. He was in there. He fought for this government. He's frustrated. And this is where Ali once said, let me share this. We can read this. Ali is making a point here.
Yeah.
And
Ali says, I think Mr. Fagon is expressing his frustration based on the way he was disappointed in the government he cherished so much.
This guy went to jail for this government. It was the same Fagon when they I think when the June 7 protest, he was everywhere. The guy, I think he loved the government so much. But he too, he wanted to steal because he was not given an opportunity to steal, so he's frustrated. And that's the bottom line of all of this. And he says that the champagne, if that was going to touch my tongue, I'll be happy. So he was in the system and he was not getting it. And Mary Bura gave him all car. So he went there to steal because he didn't have the opportunity. He is frustrated. And that is the bottom line of all this. These guys.
Do you see in the future, do you see so many Eugene Fagons coming out to speak the way he spoke?
Oh, there are more Eugene Fagon to come out. They are frustrated. And this is the point. Look, and then what look, yeah, let's hear what's and
Monica. Yeah, the Eugene Fagon did not fall for this government. He had a falling out with this government.
Now, what Monica is saying here, he's right. The CDC-led government, they in layers. They get different tiers. Eugene Fagon fall in a tiers with Nathaniel Magee. He came out when Magee was sanctioned. Magee is his body. And some people in Liberia claim they are kind of related cousins. And he know that what he was getting, he's not going to get it anymore because Magee now have been put in a situation that Magee himself cannot handle. So Eugene Fagon is frustrated. So there will be many Eugene Fagon coming. Remember, you get Bill Traore, people too will come out to sing song. Serena Seaford now, Sheffin Blaine, here people will come out. And as they get more frustrated, they will come out to say it. And the finger pointing will be going for the Cobra head. The Cobra head will yet to come. They are sitting pretty.
But do you think these revelations by Mr. Fagon will have any effect on the president in particular? Because his message is not to the government in general. His message is to the president. And like you said, the president is the head of the government. And that's the person for whom he laid down his life. Okay? And to the point where he will say that the president refused to shake his hand. Can you imagine? I mean, would the president go to that length and death?
But the president, my man, we all know his own cousin Salisa. What happened? We all know that his little brother Christopher Red that played with Arsenal, that lived with us in the UK. What happened when Christopher and Salisa decided to support Ellie? He ignored them. So Fagon is not lying. What Fagon is saying, he's speaking truth to power. That is the truth Fagon is saying. And that's the thing. A Eugene number, for example, he ran $80,000 car. Fagon is not lying. We all know that. So Fagon is speaking because he was in there. He didn't have the opportunity to steal like those guys. He is frustrated, so he's seeing the truth. And what Fagon said is resonating with a lot of Liberians that have not been able to express what Fagon is saying. And Fagon coming from inside by what he's saying, telling us that These guys are all criminals, and we need to listen to what Fagon is saying. Fagon is not lying.
No, and I want to believe that the voiceless in the CDC, those that cannot come out to make their voices heard, they see themselves in Fagon, and so when Fagon is talking, they are like, exhale. Let me breathe a little bit. Okay, so like I said, every time I hear this music, the fun part is there. It sounds funny, but it's also serious. And I've been wondering, who is this little girl that Fagon emphasizes on so much that is riding this for the $7,000 car? Because he didn't call this girl name, or is she because he made one specific reference about another girl who is Jefferson Koji's girlfriend or baby man, who is appointed as a registrar. But this other girl that rides the $47,000 car, I don't know. Do you have any idea?
There are so many late girls that ride $47,000 cars in Liberia, and Fagon just picked one. And that's the bottom line. He just
there must be a reason why.
He picked one because that one it seemed to be more favorable to my own brother, the President Excellency. That's what Fagon picked on that one.
And I want to touch Fagon.
That one touch Fagon because that one, if you see Fagon making reference today, it means that one man booting him in Liberia. That
I know, right?
Is untouchable. That's the one he making reference. But there are so many of them running for the $5,000 cars. Not only her, there are so many of them. Remember, this other crook that is just sanctioned. He built a house over the lagoon for alleged his girlfriend, but some people say his daughter when she turned, I think 30 or 26.
Mm-hmm.
This guy that was living in a swamp around 72nd, that fraud was sinking in her ear, became rich over Netwood, saying that people now today, the Americans, they were misinformed, so they censored him. So Fagon is speaking to a particular person, say this little girl ran for the 5,000 because that little girl, she untouchable. It means through her, the snake hair is linked with that little girl. That's what Fagon is saying here, and people have to be smart.
And let me just tell you, Paul. This is just my own observation. I know the Americans. I know they got all of the mechanism to gather any information they want. Okay, the Americans do not have to ask anybody, especially in a country like Liberia, where everything we do is open. Okay, like I mean, this is open secret that the guys are corrupt. Jefferson Koiji came from nowhere, and this lot has been so I wanted to use the word outspoken, but I will not use that word. He has been very, very aggressive towards the Americans. I remember there was this, was it Allen White or some American diplomat went to Liberia, and Jefferson Koiji was saying that they shouldn't have given the guy audience. He was something he said, okay, and then he went to America to do one interview, and he sat there, look at the journalist, and telling the man, "I want to be blind with you," you know. Instead of him begging, then the same guy came from America recently, and he started to talk that the sanction by the Americans will not bother this government. And you know, all these things, they gave clues to the Americans as to what's going on. 1. 2, the very revelations by Eugene Fagon will solidify the momentum of the Magnitsky sanctions. Whether it was supposed to be limited to a certain number of people, it will even be added. And the Americans could just use Fagon. I mean, they don't need to go that low though, but they can call Fagon for hearing. I mean, the House. And then the houses in America, it can be the upper house, the lower house, they can call Fagon to testify. Because I heard in some corners, they told me the American will have to bring proof. You will want to go to America to give you proof for Nathaniel McGill, who, like Paul said, was just living recently around the SKD Boulevard, somewhere where he and the frogs were neighbor, and now he turns a millionaire overnight in 5 years' time. The first thing, he was the first man that ever said he told Loon in the government, when the government started. Exactly. He said he told Loon, okay? And then he paved the road leading from the main road going to the house, the alley, he paved it, okay, with marble tiles. Can you imagine? How many people in Liberia working in government or even in past government were able to get such a loan? And has he paid the loans back? Okay, well, so it's a lot of things.
No,
that
they
the
take
American can use as clues. Yes.
Linford. These guys, when they ready to steal, they will say they go for loan. They didn't go for loan. The man bought a house. And that's the fact. And I'll tell you something. Yeah, this was 2020. I was in Monrovia. We want to visit McGee, and this is a story that people don't know about. Palawa Hut is where people say they have, but McGee got Palawa Hut in his, he got air conditioning in his Palawa Hut also. It just show you, if you get air conditioning in a Palawa Hut that is open, that is broad daylight steady, because electricity beating 24/7 generator. For generator, using generator, you fill the gas and you get air conditioning in a Palawa Hut. Waste of money. And this is the fact. And there's a question for you here, Linford. I want you to address this from.
Gentlemen, can you guys comment on the fact that the mayors or city mayors are not selected and not elected? Now, Monica, this is something that many Liberian people don't know. I don't know how old are you? I don't want to go into your age, but as far as I'm concerned, city mayors, I think, the very act that established that calls for elections and is constitutional. City mayors should be elected. The last time I saw a city mayor election that did not even take place was 1979. I was a boy, but I was not small. I was in 9th grade. So a 9th grader in Liberia, you should know. Those days, a 9th grader, we were not the kind of 9th graders we got today. We were 9th graders that were trained, that had studied to reach 9th grade. So I remember it was the people, some of the people that were in that race, the two major contenders were Chuchu Horton and the late Dr. Amos Sawyer. That I remember well. Ask anybody. That was the election that was supposed to take place, but because of the confusion with the April 14, 1979, and all these things, it made that elections not to take place. So city mayor and the city mayor that was supposed to be outgoing at that time, I don't know whether he was in a race to that, I can't remember, was America Edward Daly or David Edward. I think Edward Daly, because I remember I had a classmate who was called Edward Daly, and we used to call him city mayor because of that name. Okay, so the city mayor at that time, who was city mayor of Monrovia, was called Edward Daly or David Edwards, one of those names. Okay, and he was supposed to go out. What I don't remember was whether he was running, but Dr. Amos Sawyer was supposed to be going against Chuchu Horton. So city mayors, to answer your question directly, city mayors are supposed to be elected and not selected.
Yeah, they said the mayor is supposed to be elected. That's post it being electoral post. Because I remember I was a kid in elementary school, Chuchu Horton against Amos Sawyer. And that election, there was no result of that. And after
it didn't actually take place because it was disrupted.
And then the coup came in after that. Yeah, so I know it's an elected position. It's not appointed position. So, Linford, I want to divert a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, transition a little bit. This gone weekend, there was a fundraiser by Yomni Kanga Lawrence in Grand Bassa County. And I don't know what the fundraiser was for, but then we know that JMB gave $2 million Liberian dollars as his contribution towards that, and that would be around probably 13 to 12,000 US dollars. So the fundraiser, I don't know what it's for, whether she's using that as the other Liberty Party or what, I don't know what it's for. But this old man that is sitting, that is actually living on loan, claimed by the interview he had by Henry Costa, that he lived on loan. He took loan for his upkeeping. To contribute $13,000, to give $13,000. Isn't that something alarming?
Well, Yes, it's alarming, and because he said that he lives on loan, meaning that he doesn't have money, physical cash, and I don't know whether he decided to just live on loan. But just a little bit of history about the VP. What I do know is that the VP, all vice presidents of Liberia, by an act that established the group of 77, and that group is called the group of 77 because former Bishop Benny D. Warnock, when he was vice president, through his goodwill, he established that group for the disabled in Liberia, and they used to have that, I don't know now, they used to have a head office on Newport Street. So the group of 77, they do receive funds, and that funding goes directly through the offices of the vice president. And so this Omer presided over a budget for the group of 77 for 12 years. Besides that, this vice president has a budget to run his office. He has travel allowances. He has, I think, some incentives. Okay, gas slip, don't talk about it. Telephone cards, do not talk about it because they are all available. So for this Omer to have presided over all of these funds for 12 years, and prior to that, he had worked in government for everlasting until some of us were born, for which he feels that he's entitled to the presidency. That's the only requirement that he had. That's the only qualification that he brings to the table. Longevity on the job. That's the only qualification he brings to the table. Okay, so for him to come and convince some minor Liberians that he doesn't have money, he's poor, so he's living on loan, and then he comes out to make such a donation, it's alarming, like you said.
Yeah, it is alarming, and I would say, in my own words, deception at the highest level. And when I last checked Wikipedia, he was the 4th richest man in Liberia. And he came on a show to sell himself as one of the poorest because he was not getting the kind of money he was getting. To be able to give 2 million Liberian dollars, which is about 13,000 equivalent, I think it's just a disservice to the nation and him. But I just want to throw that in. But having said that, I want us to look at something here regards to, and I want to play this thing about the Gbana Pikin that became president. I want to play it for our audience to listen. He was Gbana Pikin, and in Yuji Fagon's statement, he say he's not Gbana Pikin, but he gave his own name. So I want people to just listen. It's just a 1-minute clip for the guy who is currently president of the Republic of Liberia. My own friend, I play football with my brother. His Excellency George Manawia, the former Gbana Pikin.
Gbana versus Cuba.
Yeah.
Listen. I want you to listen keenly. Listen to me. Listen. Look. My man, ask anybody when you think Gbana more than you. Listen. We live in Florida, Gibraltar area. We get respect for others. If you don't want to hear anybody speaking here, get outside. The next time the honorable is speaking and I hear anyone boo, you will get out. So listen and start causing noise. You understand? And the party that you represent, the CDC is not a party that they rule people. So if you wear a beret, a symbol that says peace in this country. So you must respect yourself. And don't think that you talk because some of us we have more talks than you. You understand? So listen.
My brother, once upon a time, we all play football. We travel around Monrovia with our barman boots. We were Gbana Pikin. But when you excel to the highest seat, you no longer Gbana Pikin. So the crowd, one individual in our audience that got to the skin of His Excellency that he had no way to hold it back to say, my man, I'll banana picking before. Where your take?
Yeah, but the whole thing is, I don't know why did the president meddle into this whole thing. The fellow was not talking to the president. The fellow was talking to the representative of his district that he lives in. But because the president was there, and since he feels that he's more Gbala, he just want to show his or make his case that he's a Gbala too. And it makes me to wonder, you know, every Liberian president has somebody that will get to their skin, right? I remember when I used to work as a journalist in Liberia. There were several times when Taylor had press conferences. Some guys would ask some questions just to get under the president's skin. I remember there was this the late John Elliott, who used to be friend of Taylor a long time ago at GSA. And it was the first time journalists were supposed to come from from Monrovia to travel to Greater Liberia, what used to be called Greater Liberia, right? And I was one of those journalists that, in fact, I was the only journalist that traveled with the late William Kensi. We went to what do you mean? Omega Tower from Banga. It was the first time since 1990 for me to step there. I was 91. And Ecomo traveled with us. And we went all the way to Sannikoli and Yekepa, but the program was set in Sannikoli 3 days. And all the journalists have braced themselves from Monrovia because they may carry all the false information about Greater Liberia. And so Taylor told them, come and ask all the questions. John Elliott, who knew Taylor, they were friends long time, asked one question. Mr. Taylor, and John Elliott intentionally did it. He had been drinking, so when he asked the question, out of beating or killing, so he got drunk. He said, gentlemen, I have no one question. And he got up. He had to hold him up. And he said, Mr. Taylor, why you think why if I calling yourself president when you are not high election? And if you got ambition to run for president, why do you think you kill all the people in Liberia to make you president of Liberia? Taylor laughed. Taylor said, Elliot said that. I know why he asked that question, but I don't know to call on Mother Shaw. He wanted to get under the skin of Taylor. Then come on, Ellen. You remember this guy from Al Jazeera? He got under Ellen's skin so much that Ellen had to
walk away. Yeah.
And so this was George Weah's nightmare. You know, so most leaders will always have somebody who will pregnant. But what the president needs to know here is that when you're president, like you rightly said, you are no more just that person you used to be. I mean, you don't have to be president to change, though. Like you said, we all were Malapigina. You know, we used to go around Monrovia playing football, and we all want to play looking for alley and see. But then when we went to school, after I graduated from high school, I couldn't see myself going to look for alley. My hustle level changed.
Yeah, I couldn't sell bottles anymore.
Yeah. So our hustle level will change, right? From selling that alley when you were in elementary school. When you graduate from high school now, your level changed. And then you start to go up. Then what's up for when you become a father, where you know you got children in your house.
Yeah.
You do so the president needs to know that he has ascended to the highest level. I mean, the only other thing that George Weah would want to be, if we had, is king. But the guy had gone to the highest. So what does he want again? And what you want to prove to that boy in the audience by telling him that he's tough? We know you are tough. That's why you're president. Just war for your money. You don't have to say. I try to imagine any world leader who would get up and challenge somebody in the crowd. No, George Bush. George Bush was in a press conference somewhere when the Iraqi war was going on.
And somebody
took shoes and threw it at George Bush. George Bush didn't do anything. He would not protected himself. You know, so George Bush would not have told the people, "Get out of here." So you know, the president needs to sometimes we gotta say some things that he will learn too. He needs to know that he has gone above that level.
Linford, on that note, I want to share with our audience. George Weah is a Bana Piquet, and he was trying to show somebody, and he a Buka dancer. So the soup student decided now to make music out of him. I want our audience to listen to the music just about a minute. So, well, this is interesting. The Gbana Pikin now, the former Gbana Pikin, the new Gbana Pikin then decided to make music out of him because he became a dancer. What your take?
Well, you know, when I was small, I used to hear the parable. I always let to get parable, then you guys say I like parable business. But me, I let to get example. They say when you cook yourself in the old cup, they will not dish you all with baboon steak. You know, when we were small, when we clean, we can put the same thing, we stir it right, we cook it, and then we take a put it in. and you will not do that to real food. You will not see real food with chicken and whatever on top of it, you go take it and put it under your chin. You use spoon. That means it's real. But if you make yourself play third, they will play with you. If you go, like the same thing I was saying, you are the president, you are the highest. I mean, no other position higher than you in Liberia. Okay? Just one word from your mouth can make the whole country go to war. One word from your mouth can bring peace in the whole country. One word from your mouth can even make somebody die. Then you go and one little boy venting out his frustration, and then you there challenging him that you are Gbana Pikin. You talk them. I mean, I don't understand it. So these people now, they reach the point where they say, okay, yeah, I mean, we got to challenge the Gbana Pikin. Okay, so this is how power begins to slip from people's hands. See, if you are smart enough, follow records, you'll know that when leaders are begin to be treated this way, they are losing grade. I mean, you guys were in Liberia. I mean, I'm talking to people who were in Liberia. We heard several songs, Monkey Countdown, Babu Countdown, or something like that, and all these things. So the president has got to be careful. We know you are Gbana Pikin. I mean, Georgia, you're not strange to anybody. We know you are Gbana Pikin. But you don't need to go stand there and say the kind of thing. You challenge your citizens. This is dangerous. Okay? That alone shows that you do not have power enough to put things under control. Okay, yeah, that Liberia actually, Liberia came in this trouble long time ago. But somebody said trouble can be landed way in the cold mud, in the bush, in the swamp. You go tie rope on it, start holding it to town. Now we got it.
And Orito is saying here is we must put our personal differences aside and fight for Mama Liberia in 2023. She's right.
Orito is taking the soft side. Orito is preaching.
The country is in trouble, and Orito said we put that aside.
Yeah,
then
I don't know who Orito is trying to do. Whether they all of the opposition or
about the conversation about the Gbana Pikin thing and all this, and what he was saying about that, I think that's what we were talking about. And then this video that we just played, I really enjoyed the video. Yeah, can you? I mean, I think we need to show the video again. The Gbana Pikin is in trouble. The new Gbana Pikin then decided to make some out of him. I love the video. It's nice. The music is good. But man, if those boys were in Europe, they'll make a lot of money.
Yeah, but let's leave that video, Paul.
Okay.
Yeah. Or I think the question you asked earlier on about the fundraiser that was in Grand Bassa County, and that's a good question. Why is normally raising fund? What is the Liberty Party trying to get back? How fashion of the Liberty Party? And I don't understand, but that was a good question. And I have wished that we could have somebody from the Liberty Party from your side who could address such a question, because raising funds, well, we don't know. And I'm getting rumors that GMB is trying to make her his running mate, and probably that's why they are working together. And what I don't understand about the Liberian people or other people in the opposition is You accuse the ANC of working with the split side of the Liberty Party, right? But United Party is also working with the split side, the other side. So what makes it wrong? So who is doing wrong thing here? After this Liberty Party, the Normally side will not have done business with anybody because doing so would be equivalent to Bility working with the ANC. So who's doing what here?
The thing is hypocrisy. Look at it this way. We have intelligent propagandists in Liberia. They know how to carry their story and they're good at it. Musa Bility is a legitimate party chairman of the Liberty Party. Yomni is just a spokesperson as a political leader. Now, if the party decided to suspend her for not paying her dues, so that means that role, she's now active person. But the fact that she decided to go with JMB and do what she is doing, remember that there also negotiations have been taking place. But what Yomni have shown lately that she is actually controlled by the Montserrat Senator Darren Dillon. From it's my thought, but from what my own indication, what I'm seeing, Darren Dillon is the one that controls her movement and tell her things to do. So if she want to be that leader of a nation and controlled by Darren Dillon, I think it's a dangerous game that she's playing. It does not show any good sign at all. So that's my take on the Yomni issue. If she's running, is she raising funds? Is she raising a fund for GMB presidency? Remember also, Benina Ure, because of that VP share, he told Mr. Cummings to quote. What would be his own thinking behind her own agenda? So I think there is a big split within that organization there that we might look at times to come.
Okay, but
now
let me
there's something else before you come in.
Okay.
That Yomni side of Liberty Party, it have not been recognized by NEC. Will she take that her side to join JMB as a running force, or if that happens? The legitimate Liberty Party, will they take out the court for using the party name? That's another question that people need to look at.
Okay, yeah, and you just brought my attention to something. Since this case against Mr. Cummings was laid to rest, peacefully too, died of natural death. I've been wondering. I haven't heard much about Uri. So what's happening? I mean, did this case, the fact that this case was thrown out of court and there was no merit in the case, did it break the wings of Benona Uri, who were flying so high? What do you think happened?
No, it didn't break the wing of Benona Uri. I think from Benona Uri own camp, they had a scene going around say there was a pay agent within the CPP, right? All right, it's like in a classroom when we're small. If somebody let loose, what we call in Liberia, somebody fat, the first person I'll say, "Oh, Linford, that you fat." As Paul accusing me, I did it. Benona Ure were in there as the pay agent and decided to point fingers to other people, say they were pay agent for the government. He did the work of the government and broke the CPP apart. And what he did it for the government. And there was the same Benona Ure that encouraged Omen Joseph Boyka to testify against Cummings. So Benona Ure played a game that he wanted to play to his satisfaction that he broke the union apart. So his whole thing, his accomplishment.
Oh, the mission was accomplished, so he just lay back.
So he lay back. Now, the VP shared that between he and Yomli. I don't think Benona Ure won that VP shit. That's my own understanding. I may be wrong. But I think Benona Ure won that VP shit for somebody from his inner cycle, his family member. Because if the moment you say Benona Ure and JMB, lot of Europeans go like, no. But Bernard Uribe might be eyeing somebody within that camp to be that VP. That is my own understanding. So the Yomi factor now, the infight will come from that Bernard Uribe cycle. If the old man pick her, there will be a lot of things. Remember, you get a Mo Ali fashion against the Bernard Uribe as you saw Mo Ali came out recently with t-shirts, Yomni and JMB ticket, which have it's not there. He printed his own t-shirt to actually post saying in Bernard Uribe Gary. So look at it from that perspective. But I think Bernard Uribe got somebody in mind that you want that person to be a running mate to JMB. So he is the spoiler. He just there to spoil things. That's what I think. That's my own analysis. I may be wrong, but that's how I see it.
Fair enough. You know, I think if you follow the video from the start or previous video we've been making, I've always said this, that from now henceforth, fast forward all the way to 2023 until 2024, when inauguration should have taken place, we experience a lot of things politically. Okay, people will be political calope. We get started beginning like bro. They will be political calope all over the place. People will be joining party. People will be leaving party. And who knows? I mean, Eugene Frangon. I mean, he said he will not campaign. Okay, but let's go to briefly. Let's touch. I think a lot have been said about the letters, the exchange of letters between President Weah and Mr. Cummings. But there is one thing that Mr. Weah said to Mr. Cummings, the question that he asked, where were you? And I remember, this is now a new question. I remember when we were in Habel during the wartime working at a radio station. This is one of the most famous promos that we had, or jingles that we had on the radio. Taylor said, where were you? Do not let the question be asked. Where were you during the people's great liberation struggle, something like that. I'm not quoting word for word, but where were you? Don't let the question be asked, where were you? Now, so Weah comes to ask Mr. Cummings, where were you during the war? Now, then I wonder whether Mr. Weah actually thought from his own mind to ask this question. Now, let's agree that Mr. Cummings did not go to refugee camp. Mr. Cummings did not help anybody in a refugee camp. Mr. Cummings did not come to Liberia. Now, one of the things that we should know was we got pretty close to 2.5 to 3 million Liberians living outside of Liberia as a result of this war. So if all this number of people were running away from Liberia to safety, so Cummings was told to come to Liberia, right? He should be seeking safety too. That's one thing. The second thing is, if Mr. Weah indeed was in refugee camp, as people say, Mr. Weah was not, he was not an ordinary guy like me at the time. Weah was a celebrity. Everywhere Weah went, there were people behind him, to the point where Weah made even a promo for, I think, Deodora or Adidas. He was naked walk. Once, I think Cologne or something. I don't even know to follow that nonsense. Where he was naked walking. And I said, no, the way again. Oh, you know. So the point I'm trying to make is that everything about Weah at that time was what? On the social media. So when did Weah go to which camp and make all the donations? That we say have to see documented evidence of that. That we have not seen, or at least I have not seen. That's beside the point. So let's come to Mr. Weah's question. If I was Mr. Cummings, one of the questions, the way I will answer Mr. Weah is this. Mr. Weah became president 5 years ago. Mr. Weah, which refugee camp had he gone to in recent time to help Liberians come back or resettle them, or to even hear about their plights? He goes to Ghana almost every other month. Has he been in a camp lately? That's one of the questions I want to ask. Besides that, if Mr. Weah knows that he actually cared for Liberian people, under his watch, he's the first man in the entire country. You know, we all, when we go, We don't know whether there's anybody greater than God, but we know that God is the greatest. So when we go to sleep, we pray God. When we wake up, we pray God. Anywhere we eat, we pray God. When we in trouble, we ask God for help. So God is the number one person. So we actually know that He's the number one person for Liberia. Under His watch, the question He should be answering now is, where are you? We got rape. We got mysterious deaths. Some happening right in His nose with His government officials. Nothing happening. Where are you? Your hospitals are without medicine. So you only care for the people during the wartime. You don't care for them now that you are president. Now, the next thing is, Mr. Weah, you collect all the government revenues. You are in charge of the economy, the money of the country. You got everything. Okay? Where are you now? So, Paul, I don't know if you want to come in.
Yeah, Linford. Weah is a superstar. And a superstar is asking somebody ordinary like me, where are you? Because I want to contest the post. He was the only superstar we had during the war. Let me give you an example. Where I had a photograph taking Kennington Park in London. I took that photo to work. A Chelsea supporter saw that picture, could not believe that I took picture with Weah to show him. This guy cherished me like, wow, you met Weah? I said, yes, it's something common. He was a superstar. He went everywhere. So being superstar, there's question about he going to camps. And I just still want to find out which of these refugee camps that he went to, because I know my nephews and cousin was in Bujumbura camp in Ghana, that we are used to go to Ghana. I learned that when Lone Star beat Ghana in that football tournament to call it for the World Cup qualification, the Liberian football team drove a bus into the camp. They didn't get out of the camp. So I really want to see this picture that is circulating that he went into the camp and he was distributing money that helped people. This myth, they will have to erase this myth. It's not there. So the nonsense about where were you when I was going to refugee camp, I think it's out of place. Now, Mr. Cummings was in Nigeria at the time during the crisis, and Liberians that were in refugee camp there would say, well, he did help people over there. But people help. I was here, I live in the UK, I was sending money to Ghana up and down, and Guinea and other places, Nigeria. So would I come out to say today, where were you or all that? Everybody outside Liberia helped during the crisis. So that question is just out of place. I don't know where they come from, and that cheap propaganda they've been running, I just don't get it. With where were you, where were you, where were you? And Mr. Cummings, I mean, he did an excellent thing by responding to his letter, telling Weah, say, okay, with all of these things that you've seen, I was nowhere, but you also sponsored the war. And yet we are need to come out now to debunk what Mr. Cummings said, because Yeke Koluba had been singing a song for long, that he got evidence that this man supported Model. So although he keeps saying he was visiting refugee camp, which we still wait for picture to see him in refugee camp, he was also UN ambassador. Like me, when I travel somewhere, I met people, they took picture of me. As an ambassador, you take picture. Even we had a polo camera those days. People would take pictures, say, yeah, this was the picture. But until we see that picture, we did not fought anywhere in refugee camp. I can say this. There was a nightclub in Accra they used to call Jokers, where beautiful Liberian girls used to go when they go to Accra. Those guys that were in a BM business, including Weah, they were there hustling. He never went to refugee camp to food. People went to his hotel to beg for money. So until they show all that picture that you are in any refugee camp, we have refugees in Sierra Leone, in Guinea, in Nigeria, in Africa Coast, and refugees in Ghana. Yeah, he showed one common picture that he in refugee camp. It never happened. That my own brother, I play with him. I know him. It never happened. So they lie. We need to debunk the lies that have been coming our way until he showed those things and then stop asking other people questions. Where were you? He never went anywhere. He had
but Does the president know?
The man right in Amsterdam, he had an entertainment place they call it WeArty. There were refugees in Amsterdam, there in Holland. Then he visited the refugee camp. People went to that WeArty to go and beg him for money. People were going to him to beg. He can't show one single picture that he's still in refugee camp. So that we need to debunk some of the lies. And that's what I'm saying. He should not ask questions like that. They're going around with these lies. It may be lying for many years. I think it's time now that we pinpoint him and say you've been lying until they show all evidence. So Yeke Koluba is seeing this man supported the war. Why can't he challenge Yeke Koluba? Say no, I did not, and Yeke Koluba keeps saying. Now, if a political leader come out to say yes, you supported the war, that political leader will not just talk loosely. He might have evidence on him. So this guy need to come out and debunk everything that the people been saying. I think he been lying, he been disservice to the Liberian people. The truth need to be told. Come in, Linford.
Yeah, and I don't know if the president realizes that he's shooting himself in the head when he asks this question. Look, let's forget about Comey. Comey was a private citizen, like anybody, and all of the people. What did Ellen do? Did Ellen bring any relief to the people in refugee camp? Ellen rather supported the war. Didn't Ellen become president?
Yeah. So what did Ellen do? Ellen brought
did
war.
He ask Ellen?
No. And he graded 80% of what she did. She brought war to be president.
Yes. Okay. Did he ask Ellen? So now that he is president, what is he doing? I mean, this is why I want you to answer. What is he doing with all the rapes, with all the killing? My friend Patrick Yeshua, may his soul rest in peace. Yeah?
What is he doing? That's the question.
What
is he doing?
If I get Paul,
I can tell you. I can tell you what he's doing. And you want me to?
You tell me, but let me just give my example, right? Paul is my friend. Or Paul and I, we are Liberians. I meet Paul in the streets of London. Paul does not have money. Then I give Paul £5 yesterday. Paul uses the £5 yesterday, it's finished. But Paul said needs £5 or even £10. Then I see that Paul needs even greater amount of money today. I don't get Paul. Okay. Then I see John. Then I say, but you, John, what you been doing here? What you not doing for Paul? But the question is, what am I doing for Paul now that Paul needs a more? Okay? So you are president of Liberia. Your people hungry. Fathers go to work, so now they are afraid to come home. Why? Because they're not bringing anything home. The wife, the children, everybody sitting and looking. And when we were kids, when your father coming from work, you know, without they get that bear in their head, you run. Oh, Papa coming, you say, when you grab it like that, the next thing with that bear you taking, so now you're looking inside, you know. But things like that don't happen anymore. The husband will be hiding until you come home late. Someone will even go, even get drunk to that friend place and come home, they start fighting the wife because of frustration. Then you asking somebody who was just a private citizen like you, where was he? So all the people that are in Liberia, if anybody wants to hold position, they have to make it as a credential that, okay, I will helping people in a refugee camp.
Yeah. So therefore, we are king of power based on the common knowledge that he one of us. He slept on mat. He fishing. He slept. He did all that common person in Liberia would do. He did it. So he understood the plot, right? So the people put him there. But what did he do for the people that put him there? And this is why I'm going to justify this, what we are did. To start with, when he came to power, this is the guy that Sedition had promoted that had $85 million. He was richer, right? He didn't do anything with the $85 million, but when he came to power, the first thing he did this. That is you see that? Mm-hmm. That is the 49 condominium that he built. That the first thing he did for the people. The second thing, he broke his house down on the 9th Street to this. This is where we are did. He didn't stop there. He decided to show the people that voted for him that he was this superstar that could do anything by writing this. This is what we are doing with his money. And he didn't stop there. Continue to play on the people. He went for this. That is what Weah was doing with his money. So if you ask that question, what did he do? That's what he was doing. And then his own prime minister decided to show Liberian people what they did with the money. What were they doing for the people? When he poor mother, like my mother that sold chicken soup and sold bread, that his own prime minister did this by building a mausoleum for his mom that never lived in his house, who slept in mud house. This is what they did with their money. This is what they did to their own people. So this is about time that these people be booted out. They mean no well for the people that put them in. And that's my take on it.
Well said, Paul. And our time is fast spent. But at this time, we just let to talk directly to our viewers. Or you, our viewers, you can also talk to your families. Look, this thing is not about me. It's not about Paul, I'm sure. In any case, I cannot go hungry. The Royal Kingdom of Norway is one of the richest countries on planet Earth with very small population. So at least the economists in this country, they estimate that without working, if everybody laid down their tools, we can still survive for about 30 years. And we take our regular pay. Nobody goes to work, just stay home. 30 years, according to them. So at least nowhere is heaven on earth, but nobody is putting gun behind us. When I walk, I don't look behind me in the night. When I park my car, I don't think about somebody breaking into it. When my children go to school, I don't think about them coming back home because they are safe. Nowhere is heaven on earth, but at least there are places on earth that are peaceful, and Norway happens to be one of them. So I wouldn't have any cause to be worried about Liberia, but because I got a nasty picture that I always wanted to show for the past 1 month or so. I told you about this story where my nephew, my brother's son, was shot. If I tell you that this boy is alive, that we even took all the bullets, I got the pictures of the bullets and whatever. If I show you, you'll say that lot. The punch can go through that hole on his side, right between under his ribs and the backbone, somewhere right there. Right there. That his kidneys did not get destroyed, that his intestines did not get destroyed, it was just scarred. What did he do? He gave 2 people left who begged him to drive them to Fennel. When he dropped them, then they went on the motorcycle, they shot him. Can you imagine? A country like that? When I was growing up, Morocco was not like that. So it's not about us. It's not about anybody. For now, at least we can find water to drink. But it's about the people who live in Liberia. Like my nephew who got shot just for motorcycle. These young people that are going around shooting people, if they had jobs, it was busy, they would not be doing these things. We agree. People can commit crimes everywhere. They are criminals by nature everywhere. But in America, people not shooting somebody because they want $5. No. People get disgruntled and shoot people. People get mad. Okay? And I heard some sedition somewhere, we get criminals, we get homeless people in America. Yes, the people in America who are homeless, most of them, 99% of them, they are social problems. It's not economic problem. Right here in Norway, we got homeless people. And I was surprised to even know that most of the homeless people, they are people whose parents own skyscrapers in the city center. And I was like, how come? They said, yeah, because the people, they felt that people have money. So some of them, they were not serious for school. They started living, they're going to lose life when their parents died. They couldn't manage the property they had. So some of them, they are jumping in the street and they're in the street. Okay? Now, so what I'm saying is there are criminals everywhere. It's not peculiar to Liberia. But the level of crimes that people commit in developed countries like America and things, is not because somebody just want to go get money from somebody. Yeah, we got shot lifters in America or in Norway. I agree. But like I said, we got criminals by nature. There are some people who want to commit crime because they want to. I listened to a lot of videos that people been shooting from the Zogo areas. And some literally they will tell them that we are not here because we want to be here, but because of the condition. Some of them had nobody. So the point I'm making here is that, we're doing it, all this thing we're talking to you Liberians, people who watching us, people who live in Liberia, okay, and people even who live out of your family in Liberia. It's because of them. You and myself, girl, will go push cattle in the morning, we come home, we get place to lay our head. But majority of our brothers, they live in the graveyard. that they will take us there by the boom and use it to smoke. Can you imagine? Where on earth can this thing happen?
Right.
Yeah.
So as we've been here for a while now, doing for time spent, I just want to say something. And you touched on it about we're doing it for the people back home. I'm sitting comfortably in my little bungalow here. I don't have to worry about Liberia. But my concern about Liberia is the country that gave birth to us, where I got my education from, that gave me everything. Why is it I'm here? I'm cool. I don't have to worry about Liberia. But the children unborn, I hate going to Liberia to see 5-year-old kids setting between cars, setting water to survive. Why is that? In the 21st century, the country that gave birth to a lot of countries in Africa. Why is it like that? Why is it that we keep choosing the wrong people? This is the time now that people make right decisions for their family. Liberia is too old to be where it is. We need to move forward. And looking at the right people, that's why some of us decided to say, you know what, we cannot sit on the sideline. Because my kids here, for example, their nephew, their cousins over there, at some point in time when some of us pass, they will not have link with their cousins anymore. And the reason being, when they call, they say, oh, why are you calling me for money? We able to do that. But the generation that we born, they will not be able to do that. So we want a better Liberia for them to have that link back home. So this is what we're doing it for. And people on the ground keep making a wrong decision. And that decision not right. So why is it Ghanaians are doing it and then we sitting down here, we Ghana, what used to come to all to sell bread, we going to Ghana now for hospital. It doesn't make sense. And we're capable of moving Liberia with just 5 million people. Whether it's 5 million, we don't, because it haven't been censored for the past 10 years. So we don't know whether it's 5 million. So we're doing it for the people back home. I think give or take on this, and then I will close on something else that I wanted to say.
Okay. Yeah, like Paul said, okay, we just re-emphasizing. This is not about us. You know, I can't live through I can't live through places at the same time. Like any other person listening to me or watching, you cannot live through places at the same time. Where you find yourselves at the moment is where you guys live. If you come from Liberia or you come from Broad Street, you are born on Broad Street, but you live Soniwena, that's the place you live in. You cannot live Broad Street and Soniwena at the same time. Nobody is omnipresent. It's only God that is omnipresent. Meaning, it's only God that can be everywhere at the same time. Because I'm sitting here, I feel that God is with me and He's with me. Paul in UK feels that God is there. So God is everywhere at the same time. But Paul cannot live in UK and live in Norway or live in Liberia, which I cannot do. So the point I'm making here is that we live here, and where we find ourselves at the meantime, that's our home until we decide otherwise. Okay? We know where we are born, we don't know where we live, and we don't know where we die. Now, so that's why for people now living in Liberia, and not everybody can leave Liberia. Okay? Not everybody will be able to leave from there. And so those of you that are there, we expect that you can live up to the standard of any human being in the 21st century. It's not impossible. Norway was one of the poorest countries in Europe before they discovered oil. A lot of Norwegians moved to North America, Canada, and the areas around Canada border and all this kind of, because then they come from cold country. They went to the part of America that cool. Because they had two problems in this country. They were very poor. They became slaves for Sweden for many years. When Sweden get tired with them, Denmark and take them and made them slave. In fact, the Norwegian language is similar to the Danish language, because at a certain point, during the World War, the king ran away from there. There was no king in the country. Everybody was on their own. Until after the war, they had to go borrow king. Because the king died here, so they had to go borrow king from from Denmark. So that the generation now ruling. So the point here is that, where you are is your home. So where you are in Liberia, that's your home. And where we are now, that's our home until when we move back to Liberia. So we want to see the betterment for all. And this country that I'm in, it will not reach until when they discover their oil. Okay? So today they can boast. So this is what we want you guys to know, that is not for me. But let's just read a couple of posts before we go. Dad Logan said, ANC should have had a big nationwide celebration for Cummings winning the case and exposing the lies of the bad justice system. Yeah, but I mean, Dad, you're right. But, you know, everybody knew from the onset, even the opposition, even the Benona you read that to Mr. Cummings, you knew that there was no case. So for winning such a case, I don't think there was anything big about it. That, you know, it was not a landmark case that Mr. Cummings or the ANC had to go celebrate. I mean, you're right. You know, they exposed the justice system, but, you know, Mr. Cummings overlooked that thing. Because everybody from the onset, even the Solicitor General who is sanctioned today, at some point he admitted that, you know, this is no case. Okay, let's go to the next one. Beatrice Chuniplay Smith. Food is our biggest problems now. We will bear the rain falling on us. Ha ha ha. Yeah, we got to bear it for now until we can have the next government come into place. If it will be Mr. Cummings, then at least we'll have hope. But if it is, you know, the Liberian people, that's why I'm using the word if. The Liberian people, you can't trust them. Some of them will go for the same system. Some of them, they forget that Boakai was vice president for 12 years. Because of his ineptitude, he shifted blame to Ellie and said he was Opaka. You were Opaka. So what did you learn? What can you contribute? So some of them are go vote for him. Okay, Beatrice again wrote here that the prophecies of Mother Dukley and Bishop Michael Francis are working on or in the land. Hope Bottomland will discuss these prophecies as suggest. Yeah, you know, yeah.
Well,
Paul, do you believe in prophecy? Do you believe in somebody just saying that thinking and say this will happen?
Well, let me answer my little sister. First of all, just to let you know.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Ozoko said something to me in Liberia about these prophecies, and that prophecy was funny. I was on Kerry Street, and this Zoko said, Mother Dukley, this was 19-year-old Zoko talking to me.
Right.
That Mother Dukley prophesies that there will be a superstar that will rule the nation, but that superstar will do so badly, and he's from the southeast. But there will be another person from the southeast to redeem that superstar that done so badly. So if Beatrice is believing in prophecy, what Mother Douglas said that, and what Ezoko said, that the prophecies that somebody was superstar, which is George Weah today, will do so badly, there will be another person from the southeast to redeem him. And who else in a race from the southeast? Linford?
Cummings.
Cummings is from the southeast. So Cummings will come and redeem Weah for his bad performance. So that's what that thing with the 19-year-old Zoko was, that the prophecies you were giving to me, and I laughed. I couldn't believe what he was seeing. So it means that Zoko, he was seeing something that I really didn't. I just now.
You know, the Bible says everybody got different gifts. Some people got gift for prophesy, seeing things and prophesy. Some people can sing, some people can preach, and some of them can yesterday in the church.
So the Zoko was right. So another person from South
we need to trace that Zoko. And
another Zoko, when I in Liberia, he usually, when I drive on Kirishi, he look after my car, he wash my car, he made a prophecy, say, look, there'll be somebody from the Southeast to redeem this superstar. And I think Mother Douglas was right on there. So on that note, I want to say something to our audience. Why am I bringing this into play? This is something that we need to look at. Why is it Cummings will redeem? And I want our audience to listen to this.
I've had a chance, the blessings, to live in Nigeria, to live in Kenya, work there, live in Nigeria, work there, South Africa, of course the US and the UK. I understand these countries, the economies. I understand the Liberian country and economy. I understand how you create jobs. I understand how investors think. Look, investors will not come to Liberia given the environment we have here today. I can attract investors, but they will only come if they come into an environment that they know the judiciary works, that is business friendly, that government officials will not be hitting them out for money. If the environment is changed, we will bring investors to this country. As president, we will change the environment. We will change the environment, and because I have these relationships with investors, they will not only come because they know me, they will come because we have changed the environment. We'll have both in place. The relationships and the environment will be changed. You know, President, we have today, he can attract footballers to come because that's what he did, that's what he knows, that's what he played. So they will come and they will play with him, they will celebrate with him, and that is okay. But that is not what the country needs. The country needs Liberian investors, Liberians here to thrive and prosper, and we need serious international investors to come. And as I said, we know how to attract them, we know what's required in the environment. We know what they look for. We know the kind of questions they will ask. And they know for over 40 years, I've worked internationally with a lot of success. And again, that's how we change our country. That's how we create jobs. That's how we grow the economy in Liberia.
Okay.
That's how we change Liberia. That's how we grow jobs. My associate, I worked in the industry for many years. So people that will be attracted to me, that people that work in the managerial sector, in the business sector, we are play football, he will attract footballers, and that is the truth, and that is the bottom line.
And just to add to that, those are the two things I gathered from there. Everybody got our own area. We are is a sportsman. He can invite teams. They look, and this brings me to one question. Just before we close, I don't know. We have 5 over our time, but quickly, Paul, you play football in Liberia, but I play football. I only play football here for my country for 3 years, so I didn't go too far. I play only on a country level here. But you play football. You know that sports is a unifying thing. Sports can make friends. Every day you got to make new friends because every time you play another team, you'll get friends from that team. So why is it that this man who won world best under his reign, our national team is still 0? Under his reign, we don't see any improvement in football. But I think you want us to table that for another time.
I think let's table it for another time because it's a big subject, and that subject of football. It should be some easy piece of cake on his stewardship, no doubt about it. And he decided not to focus on football. I thought would be the key area that they were going to focus on more, but they decided not to.
Joe was a soldier guy, but Joe improved sports too much.
Yeah, what Joe did, and I'll just brief on this. Joe wanted Liberia to go to the World Cup so badly. That's why Joe sent them to Brazil.
Yes.
At that age, it was wow. I'm the same age where we are, so I can tell you for facts. It was 18, 19 years old. That's around that age when he went to Brazil. You see? So that thing took almost 10 years to gel. Because Joe even brought Brazilian into Liberia and naturalized them.
The guy was living in Matadi, and I was living in La Paz at the time.
Nascimento and all that.
Nascimento, Durazo, and
to gel that thing, it took almost 10 to 16 years to bring that thing up. And that was Joe focus. So the guy who benefited from that is Weah. And honor his stewardship. That should have been the number one priority if I don't achieve anything. But Liberia will see the World Cup. We miss out because of our own negligence. We will see the World Cup. So we nourish the young people. But it's not the case in Liberia. There could be another George Weah sitting now in River G, but have not been discovered because they don't have interest in the game. I spoke to somebody from the Ministry of Youth and Sport. I said, look, I live in England. The people support their local team. We have the county meet in Liberia. There are 20 teams registered in Liberia, but the 20 teams that play, they call them Liberia Premiership. That Premiership, 5 of those teams are competitive teams. I said, take those 5 teams and blend them with the 15 counties. That is a new league we call the Liberian Premiership. So the other teams that are not good, you put them in the second level, what we call the first division.
Yeah, there was some our playing.
Yeah, so it means that the county mean that attract a lot of people. So when I come from Lofa County play, I wear my Lofa t-shirt, I'm going to support. You build that team. And this is how it grows, that everybody can. So the 5 competitive team with the 15 county, that is a new league. And those who don't do well will be demoted, and then you promote the other team. You have a new birthday. Everybody, instead of fighting the English Premiership, fighting La Liga and Bonus League, all that thing will cut off. We need to do that. And this guy from Ministry of Youth and Sport told me, say no, because those teams that are there, they were registered. They don't want to break that. I said, well, you're not ready. Until we get to that point, the Liberia football will grow. There may be a child in Boko today that is better than we are, have not been discovered. They are, what we say, their investment is not, they're not interested in sports. We get people that can run track and field as well, basketball. They're not interested. So they're not, the sports are going nowhere.
Like we said, that sports team will look for some kind of sports person and we'll bring all sports together one day and we'll discuss. You know, you just brought like track and field. My nephew, my sister's, my grandnephew, my sister's grandson in the US, the little boy, when I used to go there, he was a baby, and now he's big boy. And he tells me, unbelievable. I'm a track and field man. So I just asked him one day, I said, you want to run for Liberia? He said, no. I said, why? He said, I want to do it, but who will sponsor me? And, you know, it better I run for America because at least the state will sponsor me. And you see somebody talking, this is somebody who could put Liberia on the map. Do you know how many Liberians are there who are into track and field, into basketball and all this? But because the system is bad, it's not working. But we'll tell what this.
I just want to say something, and I'll tell you this.
There's a post that I really want us to put up by Monica. Yes. The Liberian people don't understand why they must, you use the word must, they must choose Cummings. JMB is a good man, but how many of the same old government minister employees, crooks, will he bring along with him? That's a very important thing. Yeah. So because look at me. Look at Cummings. Cummings has no real friends, ties to any group of people in past government, corrupt people. So he might appoint people, but it will be based on a qualification. But JMB is going to appoint people who work with them for over 40 years, and they all know the system. They know where to save on the money, which corner to pass it, and nobody will catch them. You put in conference, okay? And yeah, okay. Beatrice said, good night, bottom line. Your program is educated. Beatrice, don't leave or we finish already. Say the all of you finish it together. But Paul, I don't know if you have any final words to say so that we can wrap this up.
Yeah, I just want to say to our audience, just click on bottom line, just follow the page. Every time we come out, you get notification that we're on. We come on every Tuesday and Saturday, just about the same time to discuss our Mama Liberia. On Saturday meeting we call it the ANC network. We look at the promotion of Mr. Cummings and his team. This bottom line, especially my program, is on a Saturday that we're making a case for Mr. Cummings for 2023. I think he's one of the best managers we have around now. So we'll make maximum use and see how we can get this guy into office. We have failed us. His era is football. Cummings is a manager. This is about time that we put somebody into that seat to move Liberia to that next level. Liberia is too rich to be where it is. It's time that we move Liberia to a better place. I travel with the old Liberian passport that is that length. That passport, you didn't need visa to go to many countries. Today, it's not. So we need to bring Liberia back. Liberia deserves better. On that note, I'll say thanks everyone that viewing us, and I look forward to seeing all of you again. The next time I appear, which will be on Saturday.
Okay. Unfortunately, I will not be with Paul on Saturday. Paul knows my engagements on Saturday or on the weekend. But like Paul said, we're here every Tuesday on Bottom Line, and then the ANC night is on the same platform on Saturday. So you are welcome. Always make sure you follow us. And if you join us in the middle of the program. You can go back on the video and watch, or you can say watch us on YouTube, because some people it's easier for them. So we are on YouTube at the same time. But it was good night and discussing.
Let's go before close. Let's close with the you give Fagon and dance.
Yeah, I want the baboon. I like a baboon.
Okay.
So let me just say thank you to all of our viewers and those that commented. Monica, I think it was the first time we saw you on this platform. So share the video to your friends and invite as many friends as you can. And we appreciate all of your comments. And also today is the first time I saw Beatrice. Children Smith. So we encourage you to also invite your friends, and she agreed that she will stay with us until the end of the show. And Dad Wogon, of course, Dad should not be, in a manner language. There's a parable that says you can't. I mean, the black deer cannot think. Someone a tree in the bush, the black deer can eat it all the time. So we always honor that tree. So you can't tell the tree thank you because you'll be there tomorrow again. So that every day now you say thank you. So Dad, it was good that you were here. Okay, Sonny guy, your second time. That was cool. And Monica. Okay, this is Monica. Next time we will bring Sonny guy along and bring all the other Sunny guy. No, my uncle, they pass up with they did.
They did they were born.
Yeah, Musica, Sonny guy, all kind of thing. But it was good, and we really appreciate you. Paul, roll your video.
Thank you. Good night, everybody, and please listen to my good friend Fagon making this revelation. Thank you all for following us.
I cannot get me for late here to drive for the 7,000 car. Now what you were camping for? That's stupid. That is what camping for your stepson to wash a car. With wear champagne, 350 you better. That is what camping. That is what camping. Or you feel like to eat lobster and he's showing the baby chicken and driving at the 8,000 car. That is what camping. That is what camping. For China to be controller general, why a web that this is it was? That is what camping. That is what camping. For Cassie Yeke to be head of place, why a web that one of the people want to NASCAR? That is what camping. That is what camping. For Emma Castro to be the head of NAFA, while husband is a consultant to Marita. That is what camping. Oh, that is what camping. So family, there's the how I'm going into detail. That's stupid. I miss what camping.